So hello everyone. First of all, good morning and welcome to Saturday Learning by Mindbowser. So Mindbowser organizes a session once in a month where some of our teammates come together to share some knowledge about the new technology or something they have learned new or something they have expertise in. So today's learning session topic is Webflow CMS. Myself, Ashish Arora. I work as a software engineer at Mindbowser and I have 2.5 years of experience as a React developer.
Good morning, everyone. Myself Pranita Jadhav, and I am working as a software developer in the Mindbowser since last 1.5 years. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Myself Ashfaq Inamdar. I basically work as a front-end developer. Total experience is around 2.5 years, so it's been around 1 year since I've been associated with Mindbowser. So that was our introduction part. So now let's start with the webinar. Pranita, can you please change the slide? And guys, if you have any queries or doubts as we are presenting, you can post the queries in the chat box. We'll try to answer them as soon as the webinar ends. So let's start. So let me just give you an overview of what we'll be covering today. So we'll talk about what is Webflow, what is a CMS, what is CMS in Webflow, how the content structure works in Webflow, and we'll give you a walkthrough and a demo. Then we'll talk about advantages of Webflow. We'll also talk about advantages of Webflow CMS. We'll talk about its disadvantages. And we'll also compare Webflow with other leading CMS. And lastly, we'll talk about pricing and then conclusion. Yes, Pranita, next slide. So what is Webflow? Webflow is a website design and development platform that allows users to create responsive websites without writing any code. It provides a visual drag and drop interface that makes it easy for designers to create professional looking websites. It also includes features such as custom animations, form building, custom fonts, and e-commerce integrations. Webflow is popular among web designers and developers because it allows them to create websites quickly and easily without having them to know how to code. So Webflow takes care of all the technical aspects of web designing, so you as a user don't have to worry about it. This allows small freelancers and businesses to set up websites very quickly and to maintain their online presence. It also offers you what you see is what you get code editor. So the content and layout of the website can be managed effectively. It also provides you with a CMS, which we will get to in a second. Yeah, can we have the next slide, Pranita? So before getting into the nooks and crannies of Webflow, let's understand what is a CMS first. And before understanding what is CMS, let's look into its history a little bit. So in 1990s, website had static contents. So basically there were no databases, no queries. So websites were really fast because all the content was hard-coded or built into the website itself. The major thing missing here were live updates. So anytime the website owner wanted to create or modify any existing old content, then they would have to modify the content and then publish it in order for the changes to be reflected. In simple words, we can say that the data was static to the website. So real-time updates were an issue. So CMS was created in the late 1990s as a way to manage the growing amount of digital content being created and published on the internet. A CMS or content management system is a software application that allows users to create, edit, and manage digital content such as text, images, and other multimedia. A CMS typically provides a user-friendly interface that makes it easy for non-technical users to add, edit, and publish content. So the user-friendliness makes it really easy for handling the data. So CMS handles the entire life cycle of data that is from creation to publication. It also includes features such as user management. So in a website, there can be users with multiple roles, and these roles will govern what content each user will be able to access or edit on the website. So user management can be achieved with CMS. Now also theme management, a user can also modify style sheet. We can change the look and feel of websites through its theme management system. CMS also includes some SEO tools built in, so search engine optimizations are easy. It also supports multilingual support, which means like if you want to translate your site to different languages, then all the language files are stored in the CMS, so they are easy to integrate and manage. And lastly, we can also manage media like text, videos, images, etc. So all these features can help teams collaborate on content creation and publication. The CMS space is quite competitive in today's market. As you can see, there are many CMSs available like Joomla, Drupal, WordPress, etc. But Webflow here has an upper hand due to its simplicity, ease of use, and security. Can you have the next slide, Pranita? Now let's understand how the CMS in Webflow works. Webflow also offers us a website builder, but let's look at in the CMS first. All our dynamic content is stored and maintained in Webflow. So the CMS here acts as a central repository for all our digital content. In other words, we can treat it as a database. Websites can then reference that dynamic content on different pages. So on the client side, we just need to reference that data. So anytime if there are any changes in the CMS content, it updates on all the pages where it's referenced. And lastly, the updates are instantaneous, which means as soon as you make any changes, they are reflected on the live site instantly. Webflow also allows us for multiple users to collaborate on a single website. Now coming on to the community support, Webflow has a limited community support as of now, but it is going in popularity due to its simplicity and ease of use. And we might expect the community to grow further in the near future. But if you are stuck somewhere, and there are many tutorial videos, forums to help solve your doubts. It also offers its own free courses through its Webflow University portal, which covers in depth all the aspects of Webflow. The courses are well organized and easy to follow. So if you want to get started with Webflow, then these courses are a great starting point. Can you have the next slide, Pranita? Now let's understand how the content structure in Webflow works. Firstly, we have the site. The site is nothing but the website you're trying to build. It can be a blog, e-commerce site, etc. Now every site will have its own CMS. Next, we have a collection. A collection is like a database. It is where we can store our content that can be used throughout our project programmatically. And finally, we have the items. Items here are the individual data records in each collection. Now let's understand this structure with a basic example. Suppose I want to create a website that sells books. So I'll go ahead and create a new site on Webflow. Now the CMS here will act as a central repository where all the books will be stored. But books can have different genres like horror, mystery, drama, and so on. So we can use collection to categorically define our books. Collection 1 here can be drama, collection 2 here can be mystery, and so on. And finally, the items are the individual books present in that collection. So one can leverage this simple CMS structure of Webflow to create a CMS which handles their needs. This was just a simple example to let you guys understand the content structure. Now, as I had told you before, Webflow also allows you to build websites. So you can combine this CMS functionality with a website builder to create a full-fledged website all at one place. You can also use Webflow as a headless CMS. Headless CMS here is a concept in which the head which represents the front end and the body which represents the back end. So headless here means we are removing the head, which is the front end or client side, and you only using the body or the back end. This means that you can host your front end somewhere else and use Webflow only as a database. To achieve this, there is a developer portal in Webflow where you can find all the APIs. These APIs can talk to the Webflow CMS and you can display your data on any device, be it mobile or desktop. So having learned the basics of Webflow and how the concept of CMS works in Webflow, now I would request Pranita to give you all a demo on how the Webflow integration works. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashfaq, for the deep description about the Webflow and Webflow CMS. Now I will continue with the content structure in the Webflow that Ashfaq already mentioned. I will show you how it works, that how we can create the site, CMS, collections, and the items. So let's jump to the Webflow website. After logging into the Webflow website, you have to go to the dashboard page. As you can see here, there is a button which is a new site. To create the new site, just click on this new site button. Here you can see there are so many templates, but for now we will create the blank template. Click on the select button. First you have to give name to the site. Suppose we will give the name as a demo Webflow. Click on the create site. After creating the site, to create the CMS collection, you should click on this icon, that is the CMS. As Ashfaq already mentioned, in the CMS, we have to create the collection and item. So the collection is like a database. It's where we can store all our content that can be used throughout our project dynamically. So to create the collection, you have to click on this plus icon. After that, first thing you have to do is to give the label to the collection name. Like if for now we will give it as a demo. After that, after this collection name, in our web page, there will be data of multiple data types like image, multi-image, plain text. So Webflow provides us to add the field of the various data types that we can add the custom field. Like if you click on this add field, you can see here there is a multiple types of a field which can be add, like plain text, rich text, image, multi-image, video link. So to create the customized field, click on the plain text. First, you have to give a label name that which suppose we will give it as a heading. On the heading, Webflow provides us to give the limitations for this field like maximum character count, minimum character count. So if you want, you can write down here the maximum and minimum character count. And if this field is required in your web content, then just click on this checkbox like this is the required. So click on this and save field. Likewise, you can add multiple customized fields in your Webflow CMS collection. So after that, if we add image, click on the image, give the label name. For the image also, you can see here there we can add the limitations like maximum image size, width, height. You can add here, and if this field is required, click on this field is required checkbox and save the field. Likewise, you can add video also. Give the label name to that field video and click on the save button. Likewise, you can add multi-image. Suppose if there are logos in your website, then you can give the label name as a logo and save the field. Like this, you can add the customized field in our collection. After that, click on the create collection. At the starting of your website, if you don't have the content to add in the collection, so Webflow provides us the option to add the dummy data in the collection item. You can see here there are options like add 5 items, add 10 items, or add 20 items. For now, we will add the 5 items. Click on the add 5 items. As you can see, Webflow added the 5 items with the dummy data. If you click on the first item, you can see here our customized field, that is heading, image, and video. So these are the fields which we have added, and this is the content which Webflow added for us. Now you can edit this data, like heading, you can edit it. For the image, you can replace it. For the video, you can replace the URL also. And for the logos, you can add the multiple image by clicking add more images. Likewise, you can add your data in the collection. So after editing, click on the save button. So like this, CMS, Webflow CMS will give us the dummy data. So as Ashfaq already mentioned that we can manage our website in one, like Webflow provides us to create the website in Webflow itself. So to create the website and to map this data into our website, click on this plus icon. Here you can see there are the multiple options like layout, basic, typography, and CMS collection list, media like image, video, YouTube, form, etc. So if you want your CMS data to be integrate in your website, just click on this plus icon. Next to this page, it's home. So click on home. If you want to integrate your CMS, the name of our CMS collection is a demo. So if you want to integrate, click on this demo. So as you remember, we have created heading, image, multi-image. So you have to add the heading part in your page, and the CSS of the heading part you can manage from here like margin, width, minimum width, minimum height, maximum width, maximum height, and etc. So CSS also can be managed from the Webflow. So after adding heading, just click on the get text from demos. Demos is our collection. So as you remember, we have added the field called as a heading. So click on the heading, and yes, you can see the data from the CMS collection is appears here. As you remember, we have the image also. So click on the plus icon, click on the image. So get image from the demos. So if I click on this, we have the field called as image. If you click on the image, you can see CMS, the image which we have added in the collection is appears here. You can manage image CSS from this also, like margin, padding, width, maximum width, minimum width, and height, and etc. Likewise, you can integrate your CMS data in the website, in the Webflow itself. Okay, after integrating the data, what we have to do, we have to publish the website. Like you can see here the option of a publish. Click on the publish button, demo Webflow. Click on the publish to select domain. Yes, publish successfully. To check the website, you can see here the icon. So just click on it. And yes, this is your website. This is the heading, and this is the image which we have added in our CMS Webflow. Likewise, you can add more data that contained in the CMS like multi-image, video URL, and you can see it will appear in your website. So moving to the next part, there is a case study. As you can see in the image, there are 3 modules like client side, that is our front end. Next is our back end, and next one is our Webflow CMS. Now the client side, that is our front end, will call the backend API. Now backend will call Webflow CMS API and get the latest data which is contained in the Webflow CMS. Now we need to integrate the Webflow CMS API in your backend. So we'll get the updated data from the Webflow. Here the backend is in picture just to integrate the Webflow CMS and to get the data from the Webflow CMS. As it is difficult to understand through the diagram, let's quickly jump into an example for more clarity. Like what we have done, we have created one demo. As you can see in the demo, what we have, that is one heading, image, and this is the description. So this is our front end. We are calling the backend API, and our backend API is calling the Webflow CMS API and getting the data. So what we have done in the Webflow, if we go to the dashboard, we have created one site, for example, Saturday Learning. In the site, as you can see, when you click on the CMS, here I have created the collection like landing page. So in the landing page, I have added one item called as a Webflow. And in the Webflow, I have added the customized field like heading, description, and image, and added the data here. And this data is appearing on our demo. Like Webflow is a visual web design platform, CMS and hosting. And here is also Webflow is a visual web design platform, CMS and hosting. So if you want to update the data, you have to do updation in your CMS only. Like if you add here updated data and click on the save button, what you have to do, you have to just refresh your front end page. And you can see updated data appears here. So likewise, you can access the data from the CMS. It will give you updated data every time. So there is as you can see, there is no deployment of the front end or the back end unless and until there is structural changes. So let's change this image and see if it's replaced or not. So click on the Webflow item. Here is the image I have added. So click on the replace. It will show you the folder and just replace that image. And then save. Go to our front end and replace the page. As you can see, the image has been replaced, which we have added in our CMS collection. Likewise, you can manage the data from the CMS only. There is no need of deployment of backend or front end or anything. Just go to your items, edit what you want, replace the images, or you can add multiple images, videos also, and click on the save. It will show you the latest data in your front end part. So this is the use case and the content structure of the Webflow. Now the next part is how we can integrate Webflow CMS API with our application. So the Webflow provided us with some APIs. As you can see here, there are some APIs like site, collection, items. It also provides the webhook also. So you can read the event and get the data through the webhook. So you can see here in the collection, you can get the collection by using this API. You can get the items of that collection by using this API. As you can see, Webflow has provided the APIs with a multiple language like Shell, Node, Ruby, PHP, and Python. So to get the latest data from the Webflow CMS, you have to integrate these APIs in your application. Likewise, you can add and get the data from the CMS. So this is all about the use case of the Webflow. Now, I would request Ashish to continue with the slide. Thank you.
Thank you, Pranita. So as Pranita gave a useful walkthrough of the dashboard and integration, we should have given you idea about how functionality works. So now it's the right time to tell you what are the advantages of Webflow if you choose Webflow in your project. Pranita, please, the previous slide. Yes, thank you. So Webflow got some wide variety of features in it, like website builder, templates, CMS, e-commerce, and also hostings. Its design tool is very powerful, which can also give competition to code with your code itself. And Webflow also provide hosting options with all this required certificates, so you can easily host your website with all this security without any hassle. And even though Webflow got some powerful tools, still they are very easy to use. Even if you're new with the website building, you will be easy to understand how things works in the Webflow dashboard. And Webflow performs very well as compared to other leading platforms, because Webflow is very well optimized in itself, so it loads website very faster. And Webflow also got inbuilt Google Analytics that helps you to track your website usage, and also the use what how many users are coming to your website on daily purpose or on monthly purposes. And Webflow offers fully responsive screen, so you can design website for mobile or other tablet devices. Next slide, please. So those were the advantages of complete platform. What if you just want to use CMS in your project? So here are some advantages of Webflow CMS. So the content of a website can be changed directly, as Pranita shown you in the presentation and the integration example. So without redeploying, you can change the content of your website from the Webflow dashboard, and within seconds it will reflect in your website. And for if you're using Webflow CMS, you don't have to code a separate dashboard, because Webflow provides you a dashboard in itself, so you can easily use that dashboard to maintain your marketplace website and to list your products and blogs. And Webflow also offers wide variety of templates and layouts, which also Pranita showed you in the presentations. So you can easily integrate your website with the help of the collection API by integrating the API in your backend or front end, and using the collection ID, you can easily call that specific collection for that page. Next slide, please. So every great product got some advantages that make it a good product, but also got some disadvantages. So here are some disadvantages of using Webflow. So Webflow supports very less code customization options. You cannot customize the template or any UI functionalities which they offer, and their plan variations are also a bit confusing for a new user. And if you're not familiar with HTML and CSS, Webflow editor at start could be very hard for you to understand. But once you start using in your daily life in your project, you will be able to easily understand as quickly as possible. And there are some traffic limit on some plans of the subscriptions, which we'll discuss later on the pricing section. And there is a limited online customer community support available for Webflow as of now, but they have some useful courses on their website, so you can access the website to learn about Webflow. Next slide, please. So now we will compare Webflow with some popular website builder on the internet. So first of all, we will compare it with Wordpress, which is a well-known website builder on the internet. So as compared to Wordpress, Webflow doesn't offer any third-party plugin support, but that makes Webflow very easy to use and also keeps our website secure. Meanwhile, third-party plugin is very risky to use because of security issues in WordPress. So your data is not secure sometimes if you are using not a well-known plugin in your project. And Webflow is very well optimized. It's load the website very fast itself. In the other hand, WordPress also loads websites fast, but you have to add some manual effort to the settings and the plugins. And Webflow offers direct customer support as a paid feature. Meanwhile, WordPress doesn't offer any direct customer support for any customer, but you can find community support very easily on the Stack Overflow or on Reddit. And WordPress got a huge plugin library, which makes it a bit complicated to use, and you have to rely on plugins for small features. On the other hand, Webflow's plugin library is limited, which makes things very simpler and easy to build. Next slide, please. So now we will compare Webflow with Joomla, which is also a popular website builder on the internet. As I mentioned before, Webflow is very optimized, which helps our website to load faster. On the other hand, Joomla struggles with the speed sometimes to load large websites. And Joomla doesn't offer as many features as compared to Webflow, which got a lot of easy to use features in their library in Webflow. And Webflow supports almost all the modern and popular browsers which are used by most of the users on the internet, but Joomla doesn't support not many browsers as of now, but they might start supporting in the near future. Joomla doesn't offer many customization options as compared to Webflow, which offers inbuilt customization for some features. So you can make CSS changes for your content, or change fonts and size for your uh, content on your website. Next slide, please. Now, pretty much you got an idea about what Webflow offers and how it works. And if you are thinking to use Webflow for your project, here are some subscription plan which Webflow offers. So there are total 5 options available. First one is free, and as the name suggests, it is the free to use plan, which is for the user who are new to Webflow and wants to learn. They can choose this option, which comes with the Webflow domain. And if you plan to publish your website with 50 CMS items and form submission. And the second one is the basic plan, can be used for basic single page site, which offers custom support and 500 monthly form submission, but 0 for CMS items. But we can still take it as a win-win situation. Third one is the CMS plan, which can be used for content-driven websites and blog sites. And it also offers custom domain with 2000 CMS items and 1000 monthly form submission. Plus, you will get a 200 GB of bandwidth, which will help to load your website faster. And if you are a team, and you can add up to 3 users and editors who can manage your site. Fourth one is the business plan for high traffic sites like marketplaces, which give you up to 10,000 CMS items for managing your product and listing with 2,500 form submissions and bandwidth of up to 400 GB. It is best offer for the team of more than 5 people, because it will give you the option to add up to 10 users as the editors for your site who can easily list and manage your product for your website. And last but not the least, enterprise offers enterprise level security and scalability for your website. But for this, you have to contact them for the pricing and other discussion regarding your requirements. So till now, we have covered almost everything about the CMS and Webflow, and also give an example of how you can implement Webflow CMS in your project with a dashboard walkthrough. So you might have some questions about any feature or any query about the integration, or any suggestion if you have also, if you use Webflow in past projects.